Hello, race fans. Hope everyone's doing well today. This is another episode in Racing 101. These rules are taken directly from SCCA Sports Club of America. And generally, these are the same rules that are used in sports car racing all around the world. And also, the same rules are used by Grand Trans Am and many other leagues around North America, as well as organizations. Some may vary just a tad, but in general, they're all the same. So if you want to look up and read about the rules of racing, this is an excellent place to find out information on rules of racing on road tracks. Okay, so let's get right into it. Rules and racing procedures. I've read these many times over the years. I used to be a volunteer at Lime Rock. I was a volunteer for kart racing. My nephews and nieces all did junior kart racing. My sister-in-law was a New England Championship kart racer. So racing's been in my family for a long time. So these rules, everyone doesn't know them, but they should know them. If you're playing a racing game or just watching on TV, it's good to know the rules. So, flags. Flags 101. Flags convey the commands or information indicated below. They must be obeyed immediately and without question. The content in the section cannot be amended by event supplemental regulations. In other words, everything that's on this page, it wouldn't make a difference whatever your local track rules. This supersedes all of it. The meaning of each flag. Green flag. When displayed, green flag indicates that the course is clear and that a race is underway. The green flag ordinary is shown by the starter. Also, green flag also means I was once in an issue where on a hot track we had a guy cross the track in a lawn cutting tractor on a hot track where people were doing practice laps. And I'm not talking karts either. And this guy decides to cross, and man, the coach, this was like, I don't know, this is a long time ago, like a decade and a half ago, maybe 2 decades ago. Man, the pro got, he just went off on that guy. He almost got fired, really, for being so stupid because he was risking his life and he was risking the life of the drivers. Even if you think that you're so far away and the cars are so far away, I'm going to cross this track in the lawn tractor. Uh, Bad idea. There's no way that is a good idea in any circumstances. So, cover green flags. B, yellow flag. You're approaching an incident where you and other safeties are at risk. The racing surface may be clear, but there's immediate danger to you or others. If you left, there's immediate danger to you and others if you left the racing service. Slow, significant, and proceed through to the incident at a reduced speed. There is no passing from the flag until past the emergency incident. This I see abused all the time in online racing. Always see there's to be a yellow and people passing, taking advantage of it. That's a big no-no. And really, all racing leagues, if you want to be a proper sim racing league, disallow that, penalize people for that. Waived. You're approaching an incident that is greater danger to you and others. The racing service may be partially or completely blocked. Slow significantly and be prepared to stop. All efforts should be made to proceed through a waving. Yellow flag in single file order. That's a shame, really, that iRacing has this. It's a shame that ACC does not have this. Almost a travesty. This is a normal thing at every racetrack. And it's something that they should work on putting in their next game. There is no passing from the flag until past an emergency incident. The no passing zone starts perpendicular line across the track from the flag and ends at a perpendicular line across the track from the last component of incident caused on the yellow flag. The last component may be a car, driver, responding officials, or other vehicles or debris. Now, double yellow generally does not come out in most race games, I don't think. So I'm going to be very brief. Double yellow displayed at all stations indicates entire course is under yellow. Full course yellow, all stations will display double yellow flags for all pace and safety laps. Slow down, no passing. You noticing a trend, guys? No passing on yellows, ever. Period. However, cars may carefully pass emergency vehicles and other cars that are disabled or off pace. Don't pull a Juan Pablo Montoya and run into an emergency vehicle, which I've seen during a NASCAR race. He ran into one of the blower trucks that was going like 20 miles an hour. It was incredible, really. Unbelievable. Lack of paying attention. He was bored or whatever, I don't know. Blue flags with diagonal yellow stripe. After another competitor is following very closely or trying to overtake, this flag may display standing or waving depending on the speed differential. Notice this is just a warning. Again, it's not telling you that you have to yield. It's just telling you that you have another competitor who is right behind you trying to overtake. Surface condition. Yellow with vertical red stripes. Take care slippery condition exists or debris is present on a racing surface. This flag is displayed standing. White flag. Standing white flag. Caution and take care for a slow-moving race car, ambulance, or other emergency vehicle on the racing surface. The standing flag displayed for 2 flag stations prior to the vehicle in question. In addition, a standing white flag will be displayed during a first lap of each group's first session of the day. Other flag is already displayed to indicate the location of the flagging stations. Waved. A waving white flag is displayed by the starter. It shall indicate the start of the last lap of the race. Black flag. Closed black flag, furled, pointed, or shaken at an individual from the starter's stand, optionally accompanied by a number board indicating the car number, warning for driving in unsafe or improper manner. Continued unsafe and improper driving will result in an open black flag. An unfurled open black displayed from the starter stand with a number board indicating a car number proceeds directly to the pits and the location designated by race director, chief steward, or event supplemental regulations for consultation with officials. Do not take another lap. It's not really when you're really you'll get a black flag, but there's nothing in that point in virtual racing. But you will get a black flag though. iRacing has them. Almost every single race game has them. Open back flag displayed at all stations. The session has been stopped. All cars must stop racing. Exercise extreme caution. This flag is displayed with an all sign at the starter stand, and at the sign must also be shown at the station elsewhere on the course. We're going to skip past some of these, a couple of these. I mean, I could go with mechanical black flag displayed from a starter stand, and number indicated the car number. There's a mechanical problem with the car. Proceed directly to your pit or location designated by the race director. Checker flag, we know what that is. Red flag, displayed at each station on the starter stand. Extreme danger. The session has been stopped. This is something that should be in most race games. I believe that there are some race games that the admin could throw a red flag. I'm not sure, but I think there might be one or two games like that. There's very few. Lights instead of flags. These are very, very good. The lights instead of flags. You see those on like NASCAR tracks mostly. A car that retires to the paddock during its qualifying session and then returns to the track automatically forfeits qualified times earned before retiring. A car that retires to the paddock from the pits or the track during its race may not return to the track unless supplemental regulations. So if you don't know what this means, a lot of people don't. I don't know how many people over the years have asked me, what's the paddock? Well, I don't get that. What's that have to do with anything? The paddock, guys, is the place where you see all the haulers or the garage area. That's what a paddock is. A lot of people don't know what that is for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they just haven't been into a real life track. I don't know. Paddock is not the pits. A lot of people say the pits is the paddock. Two different things. Rules of the pits. Required equipment, fueling. That's pretty much, I think, all wanted to discuss as far as online racing goes. Nothing on here tells you have to move when you have a blue line. That is just ridiculous fantasy racing. There's no such thing. Unless you're off pace, you do not have to move for a blue flag. That is just people that are F1 fans that know nothing about sports car racing. That's something that happens in sports car racing. That's something that happens in F1, not sports car racing. A blue flag is a suggested flag that tells you a faster car is behind you. Nothing more, nothing less. If your car is not up to speed, they will direct you to the pits with a black furled flag. That's how it works. People in online racing don't understand the rules of sports car racing and think that just because there's a blue flag, you need to automatically bow down and get out of the way. That's a gentlemanly thing to do, yes, but it's not the rules. It's arcade rules. And yes, it's very gentlemanly, and that is generally what you see in weekend racing. People will race like a gentleman. It's a code of etiquette, and people will move. But it's not a written rule in any way, shape, or form. The person passing needs to pass cleanly, whether it's a blue flag situation or not. Trying to see if it gives any more information about blue flags. I don't think it's gonna. I've seen races in the rain in person, and generally, if it's lightish rain, they will continue to race. But if it's an all out deluge in general, IMSA races that I've been to, they will black flag the race. They'll stop until the rain clears. Generally, how it happens. If the race is already half over, then they will lock the grid where the race stopped, and that will be your results. And then they'll wait it out until the next race. Sometimes, time permitting, they can't get to the next race. Here's a nice little write up here. I might as well go, while I'm doing this, I might as well go over this. On course driver conduct. Drivers are responsible to avoid physical contact between cars on the racetrack. Pretty simple, right? Let me repeat that. On course driver contact heading. A. Drivers are responsible to avoid physical contact between cars on the track. B. Each competitor has the right to racing room, which is generally defined as sufficient space on the marked racing surface that's under racing condition. A driver can maintain control of his car in close quarters. Drivers must respect the right of other competitors to racing room. Drivers are entitled to one safe protective move. Once one safe protective move is made, any abrupt changes in direction that impede or affect the path of another race car attempt to overtake or pass may be interpreted as an effort to deprive a fellow competitor of the right of racing room. Overtaking driver is responsible for the decision to pass another car and accomplish it safely. I say this over and over, but it seems like it just goes on deaf ears. I say this, I've always said this. I said it when I was in iRacing, say it in ACC, said it in NASCAR 2000, all the games I've played, said it in conversations on the track, on and on. It's a simple global racing rule. Overtaking driver is responsible for the decision to pass another car and accomplish it safely. The overtaking driver is responsible to be aware he is being passed and not to impede or block the overtaking car. A driver who does not use his rearview mirror or who appears to be blocking another car attempting to pass may be black flagged and penalized as in section 7. If a driver is significant body contact, The driver and car shall stop at the designated incident investigation site for review of the incident by stewards before going to their paddock area. The designated incident investigation site shall be identified by the supplemental regulations. I'm gonna end this here, and I'm gonna actually make another video on some of these rules. These are the rules of those are the rules of the flags, and they're pretty self-explanatory. And those rules are pretty much global rules. They're rules taken from a handbook from Sports Club of America. I'm going to stop this video right here.